In the series of interviews that we are conducting with politicians, today is a name that I do not find myself fit to even take. Today is former Union Minister for Civil Aviation, Mr. C.M. Ibrahim, sitting with us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
In the current political scenario, there is a lot of things happening. So we keep listening about a lot of ministers or even the current prime minister. He's considered as a great orator. There will be a lot of people who will agree and there will be people who will not agree. Today there is a person who is sitting with us and he is actually the original orator from Karnataka. If you go and search about him on the internet, you will find so much of information, so much of interesting information actually, how he stepped into politics and how the legendary leaders of Karnataka honed him. Sir, tell me something about how this happened. You were at a very young age, and how did it happen that you got drawn into politics?
You see, I had a passion because when I was studying in the high school, I used to read a lot about Mahatma Gandhi, and I used to read a lot about the Sufis, about Basavana, Purandardasa, and Sufi saints. Then I have developed, we are all human beings, whether I am a Hindu or a Muslim, because we are in a school. My schoolmates, Brahmins were there, Lingaites were there, Vakaligas were there, Dalits were there. We used to go to the hotel in the evening to take tea. So my classmate name called Anjani, he is a Dalit. We went there in the hotel, when the owner came to know he is a Dalit, he said, no, he can't come inside the hotel. Then I felt it shocked. Then he said, no, Nasa, he is a Muslim, I can come. It is a vegetarian hotel, and he is a Dalit, why can't he come? No, Dalits are not supposed to enter the hotel. They can't drink the coffee in the glass. Their plates are different, separate. And there in the coconut shell, they used to give tea. The shells are there, they have to take it. Then Anjani, he started crying. I said, don't cry. I will also not take the food. I protested it, I came back. Then that went into my mind. See, this type of insecurity, this caste system. Then gradually, after reading Basavana and Mahatma Gandhi, I started working into politics. I came into Kisan movement, farmers movement, then Kannada movement. And of course, fate brought me into politics. I became MLA, I became minister, I became central minister. And this is my 45 years of political experience. By the grace of God, till today nobody has called me I am a corrupt or a criminal. These two certificates, even party like BJP or RSS, even many RSS friends are there with me. They are my classmates. When Balasaheb Devars came to Bangalore, they came to my house. He had a dinner with me. Whenever Vajpayee was alive, whenever I go to Delhi, I used to have lunch or dinner with Vajpayee. Even today, whenever I go to Delhi, of course, from so many years I have not gone to Delhi, I used to meet Advani because Advani ji was my jailmate. I got a lot of respect, Nanaji Deshmukh and myself. We have told a lot about Karnataka. See, what I want in this country should remain a united country. And we got a very tradition, history. American tradition, it is a recent tradition. But Indian tradition, it is 5,000 year history is there. But unfortunately today, what after Modi becoming the Prime Minister, even Vajpayee was there as a Prime Minister of India. He was also from BJP. He was also from RSS. But look how India was. Now today Modi, why today India is, nobody is a friend. Not Europeans, not Americans.
Now that you have mentioned about BJP and Modi, there is a very important question that comes to our mind is, has this narrative that has been set that the Hindu majority community has been a victim for such a long time. A lot of leaders, a lot of political pundits, they keep mentioning about this term very, very loosely, that for the past 800 years we have been ruled. But the counter narrative that should be coming from the community and from the people who should be seen as people who belong to the liberal community or even the Congress, which has so far been identified as a liberal and a centrist kind of a party. Why people are not countering it? We don't hear
That is the biggest failure. That is the biggest failure of the secular parties. Number one, they are not united. Number two, they have all become power mongers. Number three, they don't have a vision. That's why Modi has divided them clearly. JD, RJD, UJD, KGD, Mayawati, and Communist, Congress, NCP, Kerala Congress, Mamata Congress. This is unfortunately, they could not come under one umbrella, under one leadership.
people like Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Mr. LK Advani of the years of 1970s, you have been interacting with such legendary people of which we only can read about. JP Narayan is a kind of a personality our generation can only read about. You have very closely interacted with them, and they have been, JP Narayan is someone who is Samajwad. That is where Congress as well as BJP got kicked out from UP, and the entire UP Bihar and this entire belt went into Samajwadi and the Bahujan Samaj. So how was your feeling right now by after interacting with people like H.D. Devagowda, people like LK Advani, people like Atal Bihari Vajpayee of the emergency days, and currently in the political scenario where a lot of young leaders have come in, and I would like to mention, they think and they talk about very, very different kind of things. How do you feel about the generational change that has come into the politics as well as the political parties?
No, unfortunately, media got a biggest role to play. Unfortunately, the national media has failed in its duty. They are not giving the news, they are giving the views. See, there is a difference between news and views. On those days, Arun Shourie was there, Kuldeep Nayyar was there, R.K. Lakshmana was there. There is to give news, facts. They never used to bother who is there in the government. They never used to see which government is there, but they used to see what the government is doing, where it has failed. Now the media has completely failed to bring the truth before the people. Only one version they are giving daily. Modi, 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 Modi. And all the media houses has gone into the hands of the capital-oriented people.
Are the politicians playing to the gallery or the media playing to the politicians' whims?
No, the media is playing to the politicians' views. The media is playing. You see, that's why I have stopped watching national news. What is the discussion they are doing? Pakistan, love jihad, cow slaughter. These are the only subject. Did the media discuss about unemployment?
No.
Did the media discuss about farmers?
Not at all.
Did the media discuss about the present law? They had any panel discussion? Did they went to the farmers? Did the media show the full farmers edition? Till today, we are seeing from social media. I requested Modi ji, still you got the time. You rule. We will support you. When there was a war against China, we stood with him. When there was COVID came, we stood. But what did he say? What did he did? COVID came how? How it spread? When Trump came to India, Namaste India, how many people he brought from there? More than 10,000 people came. Where they landed? Delhi, Bombay, Ahmedabad. there it spread very vigorously. Then you put the blame on Tabligh Jamaat. For many days it was, people were telling it is because of Tabligh Jamaat, Tabligh Jamaat, Tabligh Jamaat. After 3 months it was subside. Because of our food habits, we got a good immunity in our body. The COVID could not harm us more what it is today is doing in Europe and America. In Europe and America. So again second virus, this from England, mutus, it is coming up. So there also we told, you stop them in the airport, isolate them from the public, have the test, not one test, 2 tests. You must have at least 2 to 3 tests. Then quarantine of not 7 days or 14 days. Minimum you must have 21 days quarantine. Before they are planning, embarking from England, they must take the certificate. Now if you today you want to go to Dubai, you have to take a negative test result from here. After landing in Dubai, again there will be a test. You will be under quarantine there. Once their test comes negative, then they will allow you to go out. Otherwise they will not allow. Did we follow that system here? No. No vaccine. They are in rush. Now many people says, third test has not been completed.
Phase 3 trials.
3 trials. Third trial has not been completed. I don't know the reality.
Yes.
Because what I am hearing is through social media. So this is because of our immune system, we could sustain this virus. But still, I prefer we should not take it very lightly. We have to take all precautions, and we must be ready to face it.
Sir, based on what you have said right now, I have some 3 very important questions that come to my mind immediately. When this entire corona episode started, and there was a very clear attack on one community, we will right now say that it was a Tablighi Jamaat. Sir, how do you feel, being in a country and being a political leader who has seen since 1960, we have not even imagined, or we can not even understand the kind of people, the kind of conversations you might be having. Say, for example, you mentioned your name, the name of the friend that you were having this lunch with. Do you feel that today, today's younger generation, specifically if they belong to some particular community, they would be feeling that we are being victimized?
Yes, in Dalit, still that victimization is there. And even caste Hindu boys, who are my friends, who are interacting with them, they will not accept this. See, whatever you want to divide in the name of religion, it will not happen, particularly in South India.
Apparently, whatever the news we are reading right now online, you might be joining JDS. And when it comes to JDS and when it comes to Honorable Devegowda, he is the most prominent leader who represents farmers. Now, this is something that eats into my heart, that we are sitting here in Bangalore, we are here in Karnataka, and this entire agitation, for the past 2 months, these people are braving the weather, this rain and the cold that is happening at the Delhi border. But why has the government not sent its feelers to a prominent leader like Mr. H.D. Devegowda, whose party itself represents the Raitas, the farmers? Why is the government not asking, what is your view? What is it that is going wrong?
No, that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. BJP, Modi, BJP is a Aham Brahmasmi. Everything I am. I am the superior. Unfortunately, Modi is to say, मैं व्यापारी हूँ. What Chanakya has said, what is this Chanakya's आर्थिक नीति? Chanakya has to say, जिस देश का राजा व्यापारी हो, उस देश की प्रजा भिखारी हो जाएगी. Now today that has become true. True. And you see, now Supreme Court has said, if you won't stop it, we will stop it.
Yes.
Supreme Court, of course, today's Supreme Court, I don't want to comment anything.
The consistency is missing.
Consistency is not there. Already a former Chief Justice of Supreme Court who was sitting in the front bench Now he is sitting in the back bench in the Rajya Sabha. Of course, it is his choice. But today, the farmers, they have come, they started telling they are all Khalistanis. What a nonsense this is. Punjab from farmers. They said, no, these are Khalistanis. If even farmers from Delhi, they are all urban nationalists. Unfortunate, you see, don't divide the country on this. This you are bringing a very bad taste, bad precedent, political tune into this country. Definitely, it will hurt. And foreigners are laughing us because media is there. Whole world has become a village now. What is happening in India, within 2 minutes, it reaches America and London.
You have mentioned very clearly about what has happened in USA post elections, the attack on the Capitol Hill, and do you see a pattern in the entire world going where the right extremists are very loud, they are taking actions, and the liberals or people who do not agree with it, they just keep quiet. I'll take an example of, say for example, Brazil. The president of Brazil is a known and a very famous rightist. His statements are weird, sometimes ridiculous, and sometimes laughable also, and that is something that I see happening a lot happening here in India also. The same thing is with Putin. He has been there in the power for the past 15 years. The Hungarian president, it's the same. Mr. Boris Johnson from UK. There is a upswing in the right wing and the the loudness with which they have this confidence of saying anything and hurting any community and any kind of with a use of kind of word and getting away with it. Why are these people able to get away with it? And how do you compare the current situation between the largest democracy in the world and the oldest democracy in the world?
See, to become rightist, it is very easy.
You mean to say human instinct is to be a rightist?
Yeah, very easy. To become leftist is very difficult. Because you have to work, you have to sustain, you have to show the result. But to become rightist, there is no necessity of showing any result. Just to tell, oh, this community has been suffering from hundreds of years. That will go immediately. But it will not last for long. It will be a temporary victory, temporary taste. But the taste will not remain permanently. It will change. Now what happened to the America? In spite of this, now they are impeaching him.
Yes.
Look at that. Same thing will happen in India.
That's a big statement that you're coming with.
Yeah.
It will happen.
It will happen. If the same thing will continue, here it will happen.
Why do you, most of the people who want to oppose BJP, they come and attack EVM? Because for a person like me who just tries to read and gather information, what I understand is by attacking EVMs, we are actually attacking the institution of Election Commission. Election Commission for the past 70 plus years has been always considered as neutral. This institution is something that nobody has ever come out and said that you are biased and you are actually helping someone. There are small incidences that keep happening, and are we right in attacking EVM and by way of attacking EVM, attacking the Election Commission?
See, where there is ballot, BJP has not won. Where there is EVM, BJP has won.
BJP has won everywhere, sir.
No, only with EVM. You take this census, and it has been proved EVM can be tampered. So EVM is also a machine. It will also receive the signals. Scientifically, it has been proved. Many countries still they are on ballot. In America, many places they are still using in ballot.
Yes.
Why Election Commission wants this EVM? What is your interest? Number one. Number two, you told Election Commission, yes, once upon a time, it was an independent body. Unfortunately, today, see what is the election code says? You can't ask vote on religion, You can't ask vote on language. You can't ask the vote on secretariat. Today our people are not asking vote on religion.
For all these issues that you are saying that we should not.
Yes. But today they are all doing it. Did Election Commission had given a single notice?
But they will get
To this-
transferred.
That's why Election Commission is not an independent body. It has been passed. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court have taken it so motive, but they are also not taken. You will take it from me. Once democracy fails in India, the country will be into pieces. The country will be pieces. Our biggest strength is democracy. Our biggest strength is Indian Constitution, written by Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. These two things, we got biggest weapons in our hand. We should say that that should not be destroyed.
So one last question before we wrap up. I know that you have a lot of work and we have taken a lot of your time. In the current political dispensation, as a person who is an outsider, when I observe what has happened is BJP is at one place, Congress used to be at one place, but it has very slowly started to move towards this, and almost I would say that it has vanished. Now the scale has tilted completely towards this side where the rightists are or the BJP is, and they are really heavy. There is a huge vacuum here. Now this kind of vacuum, I will put this in the pretext of Karnataka. Why is it that Mr. Devagowda's party, Janata Dal Secular, has not been able to grab this position which is completely vacant here? Congress still is managing to gather a lot of people. It still has this power, but entirely on an entirety when we look in perspective of the country, Congress has vanished and there is a huge vacuum here. Are you not? I mean, as a person, outsider, I am scared that this position has to be immediately taken by any group of parties. I mean, whether it is Janata Dal Secular or Aam Aadmi Party or Mr. Kamal Hassan's newly launched party, these kind of party, including Trinamool Congress from West Bengal, these kind of parties should come together and occupy the space immediately, because the more we leave this, this vacuum, it will be dangerous for the people who are not vocal and who are not talking about that, this is something that is going wrong.
See, unfortunately, Congress should have taken this, but we have failed. We have failed.
Yes.
Completely failed. Because the Congress has lost the ground reality. They are not getting the factual report from the ground. So that's why everywhere regional outfits are taking heads.
Do you want Congress to come back to the same old situation of being, the voice of
It is
the
not
minority?
this one, it is the wish of the people. But fortunately or unfortunately, they are not coming up. When Indiraji was there, she used to know the reality of the ground. She used to call people from each state, at least 500,000 people from each state by name. She used to have direct action with them. Today that is missing. That is missing. That's why Ghulam Nabi Azad, they have all Kapil Sibal, they wrote the letter. No, because I am not a national leader, nor I will claim. But as far as state is concerned, I told my Congress leaders, if they are not settling right things, then this will go out of their hand. And definitely, next time Karnataka, there won't be any BJP government. They will die on their own death.
Sir, being an orator, I'm sure you have read many books. You just keep on reading, Can you tell us 3 books that you actually are telling the youngster that, these are the books that you should at least read? Don't get influenced by the books, but at least read. What are the 3 books that you would recommend to the
One,
youngster?
Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's
Discovery
book,
of India?
Discovery of India. That is a very good. And 2, Swami Vivekananda's book. See, he was a philosopher. And unfortunately, the RSS made them his our no.
Hijacked every.
Hijacked.
ideas. Okay.
And number 3, Mahatma Gandhi's my life.
3 important things that you would want to convey through our channel to the government or Mr. Modi, that 3 things that he should immediately stop doing.
Stop selling India. You are not making India, you are selling India. Stop it. Number 1. Number 2, come with the truth. Tell the people the truth. What is the financial position? Don't hide it. Tell the truth. And take an opinion from everybody, whether they are right or left, to save this economy. This is the second thing. Number 3, don't put your hand in religion. You become the father of the nation. This 130 crore, your children. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. This you do it, definitely you will be a leader in the history.
Sir, your name states CM Ibrahim. When are you becoming the CM of Karnataka?
I don't have that ambition.
So I think it is your destiny. It is there and you have to become.
Let us see. That's why I call Yat Bhavam Tad Bhavati. Jaisi Niyat Vaisi Barakat. I believe
So jaisi harkat waisi barkat.
Barakat. That is what. So I believe if people, yes, I am not aspiring a seat in assembly, but I am aspiring a place in the people's heart. That I got it. I am happy.
Thank you very much for giving us your time and actually affecting me, because a politician of your stature, I mean, when you take names like Indira Gandhi, when you take like, Mr. Jayaprakash Narayan, and I am getting this opportunity to sit in front of you and talk, and you are talking as if, you are one of us, the humility that you show is something that we will keep with us all the time, and we will take this to the people and show them that, you can achieve everything, but you still have a chance to be humble.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.